This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. Bde Maka Ska is a lake anchoring upscale neighborhoods in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Dakota name means White Earth Lake. A recent court ruling could change the name. Reporter Melissa Townsend has more on the debate.
For about the last 100 years, Bde Maka Ska was known as Lake Calhoun, in honor of John Calhoun, who was a proponent of slavery and Indian removal. About 6 years ago, a group in Minneapolis successfully moved to reclaim the Dakota name for the lake. They had to get the approval of the Minneapolis Park Board, the State Department of Natural Resources, and the U.S. Board on Geographic Names. And they did. By the end of 2018, all those agencies had Bde Maka Ska written in their ledgers. But last month, all of that was thrown into question. A state court ruled the State Department of Natural Resources doesn't have the authority to rename the lake. The DNR says they will appeal that decision. And at a recent event, Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, who is a member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe, had this to say.
Here's what I know, that there's decision after decision after decision to try to erase Native people. But we have always been here. We are here, and we will always be here.
The state legislature could clear up the matter if they vote to officially recognize Bde Maka Ska. The Democratic-controlled state house already unanimously passed a bill declaring Bde Maka Ska the official name of the lake. But the Republican-controlled Senate will likely not support the measure. For National Native News, I'm Melissa Townsend.
Native culture was part of celebrations in Utah Friday commemorating the Transcontinental Railroad. Daisha Eaton reports.
Rios Pacheco, the spiritual leader for the Northwestern Band of the Shoshone Nation, said a prayer over the opening ceremony for the 150th anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad.
The
prayer was followed by traditional singing and drumming. The event took place at Golden Spike National Historic Park. Park Superintendent Leslie Crossland noted the lands on which the celebration took place are traditional territories of tribes.
The landscape that is seen here at Golden Spike is mostly unchanged since 1869. And we want to recognize the area as ancestral lands of over 22 American Indian tribes.
Dignitaries acknowledged that although the railroad transformed transportation and trade in the U.S., that it came at a cost for Indigenous Americans. George Gover is Skeety Pawnee, a tribe originally from Nebraska. He works for the Northwestern Band of the Shoshone Nation. Gover said the acknowledgement meant a lot to him.
I think that's really important. One thing for my tribe, Pawnees, is, they served as scouts and they protected the railroad through Nebraska.
Darren Perry, chairman of the Northwestern Band of the Shoshone Nation, sat in the VIP section along with state and national political leaders. He said the celebration was more inclusive than in years past.
When you hold an event like today, where they acknowledge what the railroad did to the Native Americans, they acknowledge the Chinese rail workers and the Irish and the free slaves and the Italians and all those who took part. When you start acknowledging that, that's when you have the possibility for reconciliation.
I'm Daisha Eaton at Promontory Summit, Utah.
And I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Support by the law offices of Sonosky, Chambers, Saxe, Miller, and Monkman, a national tribal rights law firm with offices in Washington, D.C., New Mexico, California, and Alaska, and online at www.sonosky.com.
My day one.
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 Day one. Telling inspiring stories of alcohol recovery. Recovery works. Hope starts here. Go to recoveralaska.org to learn more.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.